everybody, it's Ann coming back to you from my kitchen on this cold, dreary Thursday night. I just thought it would be fun to pop on. The whole week actually has been kind of cold and wet, kind of a huge shock from last weekend, right everybody? So I thought I would pop on and keep my promise and show you a fast, easy soup. And we love soup. But then I'm also going to show you a fun seasonal sweet treat. So come on along. So for those of you that really are stressed about making a quick dinner that's pretty nutritious, but's fast and easy, I'm going to show you a shortcut. It's truly just an Italian meatball soup, and I'm going to give you a couple tips on it. And then I'm also going to show you this pumpkin cream cheese bar, okay? So if you like either one of these, put something in the comments to me. I hope some people pop on live with me, or I'll do as I promise, I'll put the recipes in my comments afterwards, so you will get the recipes too. And then if you have questions or you have a favorite seasonal recipe or favorite soup, be sure to let me know. And you guys, if you have younger kids, soup and chowders became a real staple in our house because they can either cook all day, like in a slow cooker or crock pot or rock crock, or you can put them together pretty quickly when you get home in the evening. And that with a side of fruit or a side of salad just makes a great meal. Truly, soup and salad's one of our favorite things to do. So I wanted to just show you what I'm gonna make with this meatball soup tonight. And I think I have things kind of so you can see. This is the Dutch oven rock crock, and I do have it in the slow cooker base. But when I actually get done taping this live for you guys, I actually am going to take this over to the stove top to do the first step, because all the rock crocks can go on the burner and you can cook right in them. But then I am going to put it in the base and put it on low and add one more step. So I'll try to remember to talk you through all that as I'm doing it. So this is the 4-quart version. I'm making just a single batch of this recipe, but you could easily do a double batch. And it's kind of fun because you're gonna see some things that are shortcuts, like some pre-packaged items that are already in this. But you start with putting in 3 cups of water. And again, I love our easy read measuring cup, so I've already marked it to 3 cups. And I don't know if I can show this on the screen or not, but can you see there's measure marks in there? So when you're measuring, you actually set it down on the counter and pour in whatever you're measuring, and then you look straight down so it's at the 3 cup mark. You don't have to lift them up or anything like that. So I'm going to put in 3 cups of water, and then the recipe asks you to add your favorite jar of spaghetti sauce. Well, I'm using a quart of my wonderful homemade spaghetti sauce that my mother-in-law cans for us. I know we're really, really lucky. So, and usually, and I just did this wrong, usually I keep a little water or keep a little of the broth to put in the jar and swirl it around to make sure I get it all, but I forgot that step tonight, so I'll come back to that later. Then this is one of our favorites. It's crushed peppercorn and garlic. It's a seasoning. You can use it as a rub also. By the way, the lids of our seasonings hold about a tablespoon. So I want a tablespoon in this recipe. So we're going to put in a tablespoon or so of that seasoning. And then look at this. Ramen noodles beef flavored. We're actually going to cut open the package because I don't want the noodles right now. So I'm just going to use the kitchen shears. We have 2 different shears in Pampered Chef's line too. And you guys, whether you have Pampered Chef's or somebody else's, good kitchen shears in your kitchen is a total time saver. So I want right now the seasoning pouch. So I'm going to take out the seasoning, and I'm going to use the shears again and cut the top off. And I'm going to add this seasoning to this recipe. Now, if I was in a hurry, I would just take these, let's see, I want to grab, well, I'll just use this and I'll wash it for the dessert. I would just stir this together, and then I would bring this to a quick boil, and then I would add in the next ingredients. But I'm not in a huge hurry tonight, so I'm going to just leave this here, and then I'm going to use the food chopper. I'm going to take off the top, so the collar and the top, because I had some leftover coarsely cut up onions and peppers, and I want these in the soup. but I want them finer. So I'm just gonna put them in the food chopper really quick and give it a few chops right in the cap. And I've just found that when I'm wanting to chop in the cap, it's easier if I take it apart from the middle instead of trying to peel that off on the bottom. So I'm gonna add the peppers, and I know for you guys, I should be like able to use my left hand too, but I'm not as good with my left hand as my right, so I turn things around, so sorry about that. And then, look at this. You use a bag of frozen Italian meatballs, or for gosh sakes, if you have time, make your own. But for a lot of you that are in a hurry, and you want to buy the smaller ones, the ones that just fit on a spoon, okay? So don't buy the great big ones. And you're going to put in this bag of meatballs. And then you're going to put in a bag of peas and carrots. And you're going to give it a good stir. And I'm going to move this just so you guys can hopefully see it a little bit better. Let me lower it into the camera. And so what I'm going to do is take it over to the stove, and I'm going to let it come to a slow simmering. Then I will reduce the heat, and I will move it over into my rock crock on the base into low. And then you take this package of the ramen noodles and you break them up into small pieces and you stir them right into the soup, just maybe 15 minutes before you're ready to serve it to everybody. And then that'll have a little texture in there for you too. So it's a very quick Italian meatball soup. It's full of vegetables with the spaghetti sauce, the peas, the carrots, the onions, the peppers. And a lot of times when we serve it, we like to just serve it with a piece of crusty bread, or people have told me it's great with grilled cheese on a side, great with a salad, and you can always, of course, grate a little bit of Parmesan cheese or something on the top when you serve it as well. So some of my favorites, but it's a quickie recipe for all of you. And I will just put the lid on. The rock crocks have glass lids. And remember, they're the item that can go on top of your stove, in your oven, out on a grill, in a campfire coal. Rock crocks can pretty much cook anywhere you cook. All right, so I'm just gonna move it out of the road because I do wanna show you this quick dessert also. And there's a couple steps we wanna finish on it. So I have a stoneware rectangular baker here that I did lightly brush with oil. You could lightly spritz it too if you wanted to. And as you can tell, this is a well-loved piece from our stoneware collection. And the uglier they look, the better they cook. But I should tell you, we have a new Stone Fusion line out this fall. And there's a couple cool features about it. One, it's now heat tolerant enough because of new technology that you can actually use it under a broiler. You can actually preheat it and then put frozen things on it, like a frozen pizza or even, frozen fries. They'll get crisp quicker. Or you can actually put it in the dishwasher too. So the new Stoneware Fusion line just started this past week, September 1st. But if you have loved pieces like me, good grief, keep using them. But the new Stoneware Fusion line, I should tell you, if you do use the feature where you can put it in your dishwasher, they will not darken and season as fast. So you may have to lightly spritz them with oil or lightly brush a little oil on them if you're doing baked goods and it's not totally seasoned. And this particular recipe, I still oil because it has cream cheese in the mixture too that kind of sinks down in. And I've found that if the stone's not really seasoned, it doesn't release very well if I don't do this step. So I have lightly oiled it. And then in one mixing bowl, I have flour and I have Pampered Chef's Cinnamon Plus spice seasoning, which you could make your own using cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger. Seems like there's one more thing, but this will be back in our line. It kind of can replace pumpkin pie spice or apple pie seasoning. It's a blend already done, and it's using our famous Korinji cinnamon. And in October, you will be able to get the cinnamon, the Korinji cinnamon, the cinnamon plus, and the vanilla again this year. So I'm super excited about that. So this has the dry ingredients. There's also some baking soda, baking powder, and salt in there. And then this mixing bowl has the cream cheese base in it, and we have to finish this combination here shortly, but the cream cheese base is just a block of cream cheese, an egg, and some sugar, a little bit of sugar. There's also going to be sugar in this main mixture. So in here, I have right now just a cup of sugar, and I need to add a can of pumpkin. So I'm just very quickly, remember our can openers go on the top, not the side. And I'm seeing some of you on here live with me tonight. I'm super excited about that. And oh my gosh, Wanda, I hope you're feeling better. So I've been thinking about you. But you just go all the way around and it won't look like you've opened anything with our opener. And then I'll show you what the situation is. You unlock it. And then you have these little claw teeth. And the claw teeth is what you grab onto the side of your can and lift it up. That way there's no sharp edges anywhere. So I have to grab another, I'll just use a spoon. I'm just going to use a spoon, and I'm going to dig out the pumpkin and put it in with the sugar in this bowl. And then I need to put an egg in there also. So I will very quickly crack an egg into there. And I'll just grab that same spoon. And you want to just blend these ingredients. So you want to blend the sugar, the pumpkin, and the egg until it's all wet. So it doesn't have to be thoroughly mixed yet, but you just want it all wet. Just makes it easier for blending. So those ingredients. Once you feel like you have it all wet, then you can just whisk it into the base that has the flour and everything in it. And so these are pumpkin bars with a cream cheese swirl. So let's just finish it here really quickly. And then they bake in the oven for about 25 minutes is all. So I'm going to use the famous old-fashioned whisk. It withstands everything. In fact, I think this whisk from my line is probably, this particular one is probably about 20 years old. So if you have been breaking whisks in the past, I'll give you a challenge on this one. It is just so sturdy. So really quickly, I think you want to just make sure you have all the dry ingredients blended together. And then we're going to pour them into the bottom of the baker. So I'll just drop off this whisk a little bit. And I'll use the spoon. I should have run over and got another scraper, but you guys will understand. That's why I know that the apron shows up backwards, you guys, on the video. But I always laugh and say that's because I don't have my camera turned the right way probably, and also because for all the years I've been doing this, I tell people that I'm not a perfect chef, I'm just a pampered chef. But if you like pumpkin flavoring for the fall like I do, this is a recipe that you would thoroughly enjoy, and it's so quick to do. So just take the batter and spread in the bottom of a baker. Like so. Again, you don't have to be perfect. Just try to evenly spread it in there. And then what you do is that cream cheese mixture that you already had mixed up. Let me just grab a quick finger wash here. You take the cream cheese mixture that you had already blended, and I love the mixing bowls because they have a pouring spout, and you just want to drizzle it up and down the bars. Nothing real particular about it. But when you finish, you do want to take kind of a sharp plain knife, and I'll just use a straight up butter knife. But you just do want to take this in, even though you won't see it very much. You do want to just go back and forth so that you're kind of cutting in some of the cream cheese. And then I have some coarsely chopped pecans, but the original recipe, the very first time I did this, said you could put chocolate chips on the top. But I am somebody that doesn't necessarily think chocolate and pumpkin go together. I love chocolate, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's a favorite for fall. Not combined with pumpkin anyway. So just coarsely put the pecans on top, and then this will bake, and it will just be a very simple pumpkin cream cheese bar. and different from the pumpkin bars that have the big cream cheese frosting on the top. So I just wanted to pop on and give you a couple quick fast ideas for tonight. If you have questions about any of the recipes, or you have a pumpkin recipe you love or a soup recipe you love, since we started with the soup, be sure to put it in the comments because it's really fun when you guys interact with me. But hopefully I inspired you to try something fast this week. And I know it's Thirsty Thursday, but I never even thought of a cocktail tonight. So I'll have to make that up the next time. And by the way, I am out of town all next week, so there probably will not be a live for everybody unless I'm in a situation where I can go live in somebody else's home as I'm at some meetings. So thanks everybody. Have a great day. See you later.